Welcome back, darling. This is Krista Kane. I'm back again with another video. We are back at Cakesplorer today. We are here to watch another street interview. I really like the other street interview, so I just had to do another one. I just had to. And this is very interesting because, from my knowledge, there are not that many Blasian children in Korea. So, this is something that I really wanted to do, and I hope that you will enjoy this video just as much as I am planning to enjoy this video. And yeah, it's good to know about other countries, and if there's another country that you would like to watch a street interview about, just like put it down in the comment section down below and we'll do just that. Anyways, anywho, let's get right into the reaction. Why I look so damn light yet?
경험 같은 경우에는 혹시 간략 설명해 주시겠어요?
네, 약간 기대를 많이 하시는 분도 있어요.
무슨 길이?
아무래도 이제 저희 아버지도 이제 흑인 분이셔가지고 약간 그런 이제 약간 뭔가 되게 뭐 그런 약간
Expecting you
기대를
to
많이
have a big
하시더라고요.
dong.
Korean dating and Nigerian dating is so different. In Nigeria, it's like, everybody's strong. I'll put it that way.
혹시 간단하게 본인이 자기소개 부탁드려도 될까요?
네, 저는 지금 현재 혼혈 모델로 활동하고 있는 크리스라고 합니다.
My name is Hide. That's my Japanese name, and my Korean name is Hoyeon. I'm Korean and Nigerian, but born in Japan.
어떻게 이 모델을 시작하게 되셨나요?
That's
저는
yo,
20살
that's a
때
mix.
잠깐 방송 활동을 했었어요. 네, 그러면서 이제 브랜드 측 사람들이 연락이 오셔가지고 그때부터 이제 룩북 촬영하면서 모델로 하게 됐습니다.
I lived in Japan before coming to Korea 5 months ago. When I finished high school in Nigeria, moved to Japan, then I came to Korea.
방금 본인이 이름 크리스 하셨다고 하던데요. 혹시 그거 좀 설명해 주시겠어요?
크리스는 원래 지금 활동명이고요. 원래
So what's your
본명은
Korean
마이클이에요. 근데 크리스는 제가 크리스 브라운을 좋아해가지고 중학교 때부터 그래서 크리스라고 예명을 지었습니다.
그럼 부모님은
Okay.
어디서 오셨나요?
아버지는 미국에서 오셨고 어머님은 한국 사람이세요.
Where did you grow up again?
I grew up in Japan and Nigeria because I schooled in Nigeria, but during summer holiday, I usually go back to Japan and I stay for 6 months, then go back to Nigeria.
Which is very weird because he said his mom is Korean, right? Shouldn't he be going to Korea? Why did he go to Japan? But he did say he was born in Japan. He's basically like a I don't know what you call them, but he's like a person that lived in multiple areas. Does he speak Japanese? Because he would be able to speak Japanese and Korean, right? Girl.
So what was it like, growing up in both countries, both in Nigeria and also in Japan?
In Nigeria, it was difficult.
What was difficult about it?
Japan is more easier with living, and Nigeria is more hard. But in terms of social environment, Nigeria was very easy because I had a lot of friends and I could speak their language. It was more socializing for me in Nigeria. And in Japan, yeah, I can also speak Japanese. It was also chill for me.
어디서 태어나셨나요?
저는 하와이에서 태어났어요.
몇 살 때까지는 하와이에 사셨나요?
저는 6살 때까지 하와이에 살다가 이제 시카고 쪽에 가서 조금 살고 이제 한국으로 넘어왔습니다.
그럼 잠깐 하와이하고 시카고 살아봤는데 어느 정도 영어 알 거 아니에요?
아니요, 저는 영어를 잘 못해요.
아 진짜요? 아 가족 안에서 어떤 언어 쓰시는?
거의
Korean,
형이랑
right?
누나랑은 이제 한국말로 하고 엄마랑 이제 아버지랑은 어느 정도 영어로 대화를 하긴 합니다.
Why did you come back to Korea? Your mother's
So your father does speak
Because I
Korean?
like changing environments. I lived in Japan. I said to myself, let me come to Korea, school in Korea, because Korea is also part of my home country, and I want to know more about Korea, and that's why I came here.
한국에서 혼혈로서 사는
He has
건
that
어때요?
Nigerian
어떻게 보면은
accent.
약간 모델이나 이쪽에서는 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 되게 좋은 것 같은데
혹시 더 설명해 주시겠어요? 왜 좋은?
약간 캐릭터가 확실하잖아요. 패션 브랜드나 이제 뭐 잡지 매거진이나 이제 뭐 CF 같은 거 다 찍을 때도 아무래도 이제 캐릭터를 되게 많이 보다 보니까 그런 데에서 조금 더 좋은 것
To
같아요.
have a different look.
약간 그냥 평소에 살 때 약간 혼혈로서 약간 조금 뭔가 살기 힘들다 이런 거는 국적이
what
한국이
specifically?
아니면은 비자 문제, 세금, 학교를 다녀도 한국인이 아니니까 장학금도 못 받고 약간 그런 문제들이 좀 많죠.
혹시
오.
국적 어떻게 됐나요?
저는 국적이 지금 미국으로 돼 있어요. 미국이어서 한국에서 이제 뭔가 신용적으로 뭐 신용카드 뭐 이런 것도 발급이 잘 안 되고 뭐 대출
Ah.
이런 것도 안 되고
Would it have been different had he been born in Korea? But then again, he would have to serve the military and all of those other things. So is like I'm not saying that like serving the military is a bad thing, you know. I ain't getting into that, but like what are the upsides to not being born in Korea, is basically having the Korean nationality, and what are the downsides? The downside is speaking about like general things that you can't do in the country because he's not really Korean. But what are the upsides? I would have
네.
really liked if
어머니
you know.
한국인이더라도
어머님이 한국인이더라도 이게 이제 비자가 되게 여러 가지 있잖아요. 근데 그 비자에 이제 뭐 F5 정도가 돼야지 이제 영주권 돼야지 이제 뭐 다 되는데 저는 F5가 아니라 F2 거주 비자를 갖고 있습니다.
Why did you decide to, like want to learn your mother's roots?
I want to learn my mother's roots because my mom, she didn't grow up in Korea. She was brought up in Japan, so she don't really know much.
That explains that explains why he goes back to Japan because his mom is in Japan. At first, I was like, "Your mother Korean? Why is she not in Korea?" But it makes sense. So, are his parents living together? Because he says he goes back to Nigeria, meaning maybe his father's in Nigeria and his mom is Japan. So he spends time in Nigeria, then he spends time in Japan. And because his mom is not in Korea, he doesn't have connection to his Korean roots.
About Korean
That's
tradition than Koreans that are brought up in the country. When I ask her some questions, like questions related to Koreans, she don't like know much. So I kind of like want to know where I'm from, my other part because I know Nigerian parts. So
Of
I want to know
course.
Korean
Of
parts. So I
course.
just want to like, how the mindsets, how Koreans mindset different from Nigerian mindset, how Japan mindset is different from Korean mindset, just like their living style and everything. I just want to like, I'm like curious to know about
It's
it.
very, very,
한국하고
very interesting.
미국 문화 같은 경우에는 차이점.
한국이랑 미국 문화에 대해서 제가 느끼는 거는 미국은 되게 개방적인 것도 있고 사람들이 차분하잖아요. 되게 릴렉스하고 되게 여유 있고 약간 이런 삶인 반면에 이제 한국은 대부분 빨리빨리 해야 되고 그리고 약간 형, 누나 뭐 어른들한테 되게 공손해야 된다. 약간 이런 문화 차이가 저는 되게 큰 것 같아요.
어떻게 보면은 본인의 아버지가 미국인이고 하고 어머니도 한국 분이잖아요. 어느 문화 쪽 더 본인이랑 더 맞다고 생각하시나요?
저는 어릴 때는 되게 미국 문화가 저랑 잘 맞는다고 생각을 했는데 아무래도
That
이게
would make
한국에
sense.
살면서 그래서 한국에서 생활을 하다 보니까 한국
It's all about
문화가
your
이제
environment,
조금
I
더
think, at
많이
this point.
차지를 하고 있는 것 같아요. 생활에서.
What's it like, growing up being mixed?
Because, like, even I think this guy that's about to start speaking said it. Because his mom was mostly surrounded by Japan and Japanese culture, she lost a little bit of her Korean roots, her Korean culture. So I think, like, for the other guy, when he was younger, because he was constantly surrounded by Americans and American culture, he felt like, that's my culture, like that's what I identify mostly with. And now that he kind of sort of like moved to Korea and now he's only surrounded by Korean and Korean culture, he's like, no, this is my culture. So I feel like it's just about your environment. I'm not mixed or anything like that, but I grew up in a mostly like French primary school, so everything that I knew of was related to France. Like I didn't really have a connection to my Congolese or South African roots or anything. Then I shifted into high school and I learned more about what it is to be Congolese, because I got more Congolese friends. I learned a little bit more about South Africa and all of those things. So I feel like it's very important for parents to like kind of sort of know that where your child will grow up kind of sort of will shift everything, will kind of sort of affect their personality or who they are, who they identify mostly with. Like black people that grow up with mostly white people, although they're not white, but they mostly identify or they mostly relate mostly to the white culture. as opposed to black people born and raised in the black side of things. If you can understand
in
like
just
that.
like generally?
Growing up being mixed, to be honest, I haven't like had any negative energy from others because I'm always positive. No, anybody I meet, I'm just like friendly to friendly, I would say. So happy growing up as mixed, yeah, being mixed, it's like I'm kind of like I put it unique in my own way.
학교 다녔었잖아요. 혹시 어떤 학교 다녔었나요? 그 인터내셔널 스쿨 다녀오셨나요?
아니요, 저는 여기 이태원에 있는 지금 여기 오산 중고등학교라고 여기
Ooh.
바로 앞에 저 여기 나왔어요. 그 모델 한현민 씨랑 선후배 사이예요.
Mhm.
다니면서 뭐 차별 뭐 그런 것들이 뭐 바랐던 기억이 있었나요?
아니요, 여기 제가 지금 거주하는 곳이 20년 동안 이태원에 살고 있어서 그런 건 딱히 없었던 것 같아요.
What's dating like for you?
I actually have a girlfriend.
I mean, that is, first of all, I'm not gonna negate that that's his personal experience, but there are people that say that they do face a lot of discrimination and racism. I feel like if you kind of sort of like grow up with people, like I feel like because he grew up most of his life in Itaewon, when he got like to high school and everything, like most of the people already knew who he was, so there wouldn't be like any pushback. As opposed to if you just arrived like from like another country or something and you came to Korea at like something like that, and I don't know, I wouldn't know, like if you're a foreigner or a mixed kid in Korea and you have experienced any type of anything, just comment down.
Korea.
It's very
So it is
interesting
my
to
first time dating a Korean girl. So to be honest, like sometimes we like argue a lot because the way I think, the way she think is not like the same. Yeah, so we argue a lot, but I try to like I want to know more. Korean dating and Nigerian dating is so different. In Nigeria, it's like everybody's strong. I'll put it that way. Everybody's strong, so nobody is like losing. They have this strong spirit. When you're dating, it's like you just like have to keep that standard. Compared to like Korea, I want like sometimes just a little bit like mistake can get like big arguments. That's why I want to know Korean. I want to like speak to her in her own in a language. Yeah.
혼혈로서 살아가는 게
there's this YouTuber I follow here. I follow on YouTube, and it's called Kelsey Korea, and she talks about like the Korean standard for dating and all of things and all of the like things that you need to know. And I've been watching a lot of like her videos, and a lot of the times I'm like, this is a little bit extreme. But for a lot of Korean people and a lot of Korean girls and a lot of Korean guys, that's like the norm. So I get what he meant by like it's two different things. Like I would say in Africa mostly like we gotta be strong. Sometimes we gotta be a little bit more submissive. Like there's difference. There's certain things that in Korea it would be mandatory. That in other countries it'd be like, what are you doing? So I understand what he meant.
좋으세요?
저는 좋은 것 같아요. 오히려 뭔가 특별하다라고 생각을 해요.
데이트 경험
음.
같은 경우에는 혹시 그뭐 설명해 주시겠어요?
썰이 많은데 예, 되게 약간 기대를 많이 하시는 분도 있어요. 이제 여자들이
무슨 길이 예.
You know what he
근데,
was referring
그
to.
아무래도 이제 저희 아버지도 이제 흑인 분이셔가지고 약간 그런 이제 약간 뭔가 되게 뭐 그런 약간 기대를 많이 하시더라고요.
그럼 그 뭐 연애할 때 뭐 힘든 거 없었죠?
저는 힘든 것보다 좋았던 게 더 많았어요.
좋았던 게 뭐 어느 부분도 설명해 주시겠어요?
뭔가 특별하게 봐주고 오히려 그런 부분이 조금 특별하게 있던 적이 느낌을 받았던 적이 좀 많았어요.
What are the pros of being mixed?
People want to know about you because for me, anytime I meet people or even when I go to the convenience store and like buy stuffs, the elderly people working there, they usually like ask me where am I from? 어느 나라 사람이에요? And I'll be like 한국 사람이에요. You'll be like 진짜로? 아버지가, yeah. I'm just like explaining them. So it's like people want to know more about you, yeah. So it's not like any racism or stuff. When they know about you, it's like from there you can just like start up your own conversation, and yeah,
Oh,
easy to
okay.
like socialize.
Anyways, this was a really, really good video. It's a really, really cute video. First of all, let's just say that just because they have yet to experience any racism or they have not experienced any racism of anything of that sort does not mean that the other people that are living in Korea that have faced racism are any less non-valid. Like, no, one does not negate the other. Like, we could both live in the same place and not experience the same thing. That does not mean that one is more valid than the other. However, it's just, you know, give you a good, like, you know, side of everything. You know, take everything with a grain of salt. I always say that. Take everything with a grain of salt. Um, and also move into this world and not expecting too much from people. I do the same thing. Like, don't expect people to be overly accepting of you, and don't expect people to be like exceptionally like hating you or whatever. But yeah, that's that for today's video. I really like Cakesplorer. Like, y'all should just go subscribe to his channel. He does really good interviews. Not just I think currently in Korea. So yeah, go give him reviews, go watch that video, and yeah, that's that for today's video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye bye.